Front Row MMA here at Ultimate Impact with Dan Richards. Dan, first off, thank you ever so much for having us here. What a fantastic event. How pleased are you with how things went tonight?
Amazing. Every time we put on a show, obviously there's a huge amount of work that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot to worry about. There's a lot to think about. Paul Sutherland has a huge amount of stress in putting a fight card together. And so to see a crowd that's pumped, that's loud, that's energetic, that's passionate about what we're doing, it's great.
We've been to a number of sort of nightclub sort of events, and usually they leave you a little bit wanting. Yeah, the atmosphere here though was absolutely phenomenal. Is that usual?
Every time we do a show on here, it is so loud, and I think the way in which this nightclub is set up, it's like a cauldron, and everything comes in, and so the crowd it's always loud, which puts on a great atmosphere in here. So it's we love putting on shows in here. It's just a shame we can only fit so many people in here. If we could fit more people in here, then we'd just continue to do it every time.
And they're not just loud; they're actually savvy as well. They're MMA savvy. I mean, they knew what they were looking for. How did you get such an educated fan base?
I think that's down to just MMA as a whole. I think it's becoming a sport that more people are understanding, more people know about. So I kind of contribute down to that. Obviously we have quite a lot of MMA in this particular area. Obviously with Trojan Free Fires, and there's other clubs around this area as well. But I think that's just MMA as it's a sign of the growth of the sport. So
when somebody puts on an event and they also run a gym, sometimes there can be criticism about protecting fighters. I think it's fair to say that the Trojan, they don't play that game.
Oh, no, not at all. That's kind of one thing that me and Paul always have in the back of my mind. We don't want a fight card full of Trojan Free Fighters, and we certainly don't want to have that opinion that we're giving our guys easy fights. Trojan Free Fighters has a huge amount of respect for its fighters, and so we give no one a free ride or a free pass. If you're a Trojan Free Fighter, you got to come and fight, and Paul Sutherland's always going to give you a hard matchup. And I'll probably say that he probably gives them harder fights to stop that stigmatism happening. So no, it's a free fight.
Speaking of the Trojan Free, how pleased are you with the co-main event and the main event tonight? Both of them were worthy candidates for fight of the night. How pleased are you with those performances?
No, obviously, if I put my Trojan Free Fighter hat on, I'm a happy man. Yeah. There's a lot of work that Paul puts in with training them, with coaching them. There's a huge amount of dedication that goes into that. Into coming out into the cage. So yeah, I couldn't be happier.
And of course, it takes two to tango. So the matchmaker's done a great job too.
No, absolutely, and that's what makes a fight. It's the two people in there with the heart and the dedication to push and push and push and not give up. There's gyms out there. Fury MMA put on some great performances out there. Obviously, Brotherhood MMA with Shane Riley. I mean, he was tough, man. He was tough. He was hanging out there. Yeah. He spent most of the time on his back taking heavy shots. I mean, the action came over to where I was sat, and yeah, they were heavy shots. So no, full credit.
Look, I want to thank you again for having us. And before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Anybody you'd like to thank?
Thanks very much. Obviously Paul Sutherland, he works his ass off putting together a fight card. There's a huge amount of effort that goes into that. I want to thank all the fighters that have always come to fight on our shows, past and present, coming forward. Also, all our sponsors. Obviously, we're a small show, so the sponsorship that we get through these companies is hugely appreciated. Obviously, people like Nando's in Cheltenham, they're great. They provide us with a bit of food. So Gloucester Pain Relief. We have MMA Apparel. We have there's loads of them. Trophy World. These guys have been a long-time sponsor of ours. They did our very first show and give out great trophies for us. Albion Independent, Puro, obviously are our fight gloves as well. So yeah, thanks very much. And Cymex Nutrition have always been there in the background doing and helping us out.
I always say it's the last question, and it never is. When can we expect to see another event?
16th of November 2013. We're over at Leisure at Cheltenham for our 10th show. So we have a ridiculous fight card. We have obviously a few amateur fights to start off with, and we go to our pro. We have a welterweight tournament, and we also have a middleweight title fight as well. And that's a sick card. So follow us on Twitter at UIFN, the hashtag UIC10.
Thank you ever so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. I apologize for getting your name wrong earlier, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Cheers.